for math today, you're going to be working on a roll and count. So these look very similar to the ones that we've done before. So you're going to need your roll and count graph and your roll and count questions, your die, and a marker. So I went ahead and made mine. So just remember when you're making yours to go ahead and fold on all the lines and then tape it together to make a cube, and that's going to be what we roll for our roll and count. So I'm going to go ahead and decide I'm going to roll 20. So I'm going to work under 20. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I rolled a frog. So I'm going to color one right here on a frog. Remember, we start at the bottom, so we're counting up. What animal is that? An elephant. So I'm going to find my elephant. I'm going to color one on my elephant. Okay. Oh, a kangaroo. He doesn't live in the savannah, but that's all right. He lives in the outback. All right, a snake. Say snakes, I believe, live on every continent but Antarctica. A lion. So far, everything has one except my monkeys, and I rolled 5 times. Oh, so there's another lion. So I come to my lion, and now I'm going to do my second box. All right, so go ahead and continue until you have 20 rolls. All right, so I went ahead and rolled my 20 times. So here's what I ended up with. So here's my graph, and here's where we're going to start answering some questions. So I'm going to start at this top part, because this top part is just asking me how many of each item did I get. So this is a picture of a monkey. So it's asking me how many monkeys. So I'm going to come over to my monkeys, and I'm going to count. So count with me. 1, 2. So I had 2 monkeys. How many monkeys did you roll? So go ahead and count your monkeys and then write it down on your line. All right, the next one is what animal? Right, that animal is the kangaroo. So it's asking how many kangaroos. So I'm going to find my kangaroo down here, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had 4. So I'm going to write down 4 under how many kangaroos. So go ahead and count your kangaroos and see how many you had. And then write down the number on the line. Okay, my next animal right here is an elephant. So I'm going to find my elephant right here, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at 4, so I'm going to write down 4. So go ahead and count your elephants. See how many did you have, and then write your number on the line. All right, the next one we're going to do is lions. So I'm going to find my lions on my graph. I'm going to count how many times I rolled them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I rolled my lions 6 times, so I'm going to write a number 6 on the line. Count your lions and write down how many you rolled. All right, next is frogs. So I only rolled 1 frog, so I'm going to write down 1. So count your frogs and write down how many you rolled. And then the last one asked me how many snakes. I rolled 1, 2, 3 snakes. So I'm going to write down the number 3. So you go ahead and do yours for snakes. All right, good. So I can look at my information here, and I can see that the animal I rolled the most, the one that has the highest number, was my lions. I rolled him 6 times. He's also my tallest tower, my tallest column here. I can see that I rolled my frogs the least because 1 is my smallest number that I have. If I come over here, I can see that 1 is my shortest tower, my shortest column right here. I can see that my kangaroos and my elephants, I rolled the same, so their towers are the same. They have the same amount in their columns. Okay, so it's always good to go through your information and take your data and see which did you have the most of, which did you have the least of, and which were equal. Equal means have the same. So we're going to skip this middle part for just a minute, and we're going to come down here, and you're going to need something that you can count with because we're going to be adding. So I grabbed Brody's little Lego pieces. So you can grab anything from your house, whether it's cubes, you can count with crayons, you can use markers, you can use pennies, anything that you have on hand. And we're going to use those to use as our manipulatives. All right, so I'm going to start here. So what it's asking me to do, so I'm going to show you with my numbers. Your numbers may be different than mine. All right, so it asked me how many kangaroos plus, remember that's and, we're joining how many lions. So I have to figure out first how many kangaroos did I have. I come up here, I knew I had 4 kangaroos. And then how many lions did I have? So I'm going to find out how many lions I had, and I had 6. So what it's asking me to do is it's asking me to add 4 plus 6. So 4 and 6, and we're going to see how many that is. So I'm going to use my Legos because we can count with manipulatives. This is not something that we have to know off the top of our heads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have to combine that with 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have a group of 4 and a group of 6. And I'm going to see how many I have all together. So I'm going to combine them. And it helps me to put them in a row or a line, so I know which ones I counted already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that tells me that 4 and 6 equals 10. So I'm going to write 10. All right, so I did that one. So now I'm going to move to my next one. All right, it's asking me for how many frogs plus frogs. So I'm going to look at how many frogs did I have. I had 1. So 1 will go in each spot. So 1 and 1 is. So here's my 1 for here. Here's my 1 for here. So what I'm going to do is it wants me to combine them. Adding is joining them to see how many total. So I'm going to combine them. And I'm going to see that 1 and 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So I'm going to do one more together. So this one's asking me how many lions and how many monkeys. So how many lions? I'm going to come up here to remind me that I had 6 lions. Then I'm going to come to my monkeys, and this is going to tell me I had 2 monkeys. So this problem is asking me to do 6 and 2. So I'm going to make my groups, a group of 6 and a group of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a group of 2. 1, 2. So now I have my group of 6, I have my group of 2, and we're going to combine them to see what they make together. So I put it in a line so that I could help keep my brain organized, and I'm going to do one number to one tap. So I'm getting my one-to-one correspondence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6 and 2 is 8. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Okay, so that's working on the skill for combining, for addition. That's what they're going to start with next year, is combining with and is, and then they learn plus and equals. All right, so we're going to look up here, and we're asking your children to compare. We're comparing numbers. So that's trying to figure out if we have 2 numbers, which one's bigger, which one's smaller, or are they equal? So we're throwing in the signs of greater than, less than, or equal to, and that's okay that they don't know those yet because they will learn them next year. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce the way that we start introducing them in kindergarten when we start seeing them. So these we pretend are little alligator mouths. So if we see this guy, that's our little alligator mouth, and this guy. So our alligators always like to eat the bigger number. Alligators are hungry, so they like to eat our bigger or our greater number. All right, so when we see it looking this way, and we're reading it in a sentence, which right now is not necessary for your children to do, this is just prepping them for a skill that they're going to see, is that we're going to read this sign as is greater than. And this sign is going to be is less than, because we're going to read it in a sentence with our numbers. So let's do this example together. So it's asking me how many monkeys to how many elephants. So we're going to compare those two numbers. We're going to figure out which one's bigger or smaller. So I have 2 monkeys and I have 4 elephants. All right, so which number is bigger, 2 or 4? That's right, 4 is bigger. So my alligator mouth is going to want to eat my number 4. So he's going to chomp this way. He's going to chomp this way because he wants to eat that 4. So how this would be read is 2 is less than 4. All right, so let's look at this next one. We have 1 frog and 6 lions. So which number does that hungry alligator, what number does that hungry alligator want to eat? Does he want to eat the 1 or does he want to eat the 6? Which one is bigger? Which one is greater? Right, the 6 is. So we're going to find the alligator that's eating the 6, which is this guy. And so this is read as 1 is less than 6. So let's look at our kangaroos and our lions. Our kangaroos is 4. And our lions is 6. So we're looking at 4 and 6. So we're looking at how to compare those. So remember, our alligator likes to eat the bigger number. So we're going to find which one is bigger. Is 4 bigger or is 6 bigger? 6 is bigger. So we're going to circle the alligator that's eating the number 6. And that's read as 4 is less than 6. All right. So this last one, elephants. I had 4 elephants. And how many snakes did I have? I had 3. Remember, your numbers are going to look different than mine. Okay, so let's look at 4 and 3. Let's compare them. Which one is bigger? Is the 4 bigger or is the 3 bigger? Because the alligator likes bigger numbers. Right, so the 4 is bigger. So we need to find the alligator mouth that's eating the 4, which is this one right here. He's eating the 4 because they're hungry. So this sentence would be read as 4 is greater than 3. Okay, so parents, keep in mind this skill itself is not a preschool skill. This is just one that they're going to see in kindergarten, that they can start to understand the skill of bigger numbers and smaller numbers, and then they'll take that skill, and in kindergarten, this is the skill they'll take that from, and they'll grow into greater than and less than, and they'll continue elaborating that skill as they get older when they learn new types of numbers or equations.